Hi, I'm Megan Stanifer. I am an infectious disease specialist, and today we're here with Pop Culture Debunker, Spider-Man Universe. Action. I think it's interesting that they make it also like a spider, since it's going to come for Spider-Man, that they've already kind of tried to bring that into it. Heat or fire, I would say, would be always bad for any organism. I mean, it's high heat is what we use in labs to get rid of bacteria, virus, parasites. So this is how we disinfect things in labs and hospitals. So this is something that would really be bad for pretty much any organism. Having the symbiote replicate this fast is pretty insane. We would never think of something ever happening like this fast in a lab. Yeah, it's interesting that it can break apart and come back together. These properties of things that would never imagine should be possible. And it's able to make teeth grow instantly is also an incredible biological fascination. I think whoever wrote this maybe had played with too many dog whistles to try and see how you could have sound be this bad. We kind of think about sound as a lot of organisms use it. So bats and dolphins use it to sense their environment. We have other species like insects, like spiders, that actually sense vibrations to see where their prey is. So you could imagine that another species could be very sensitive to sound or vibrations to be able to sense their environment. And again, if you think about dogs that have like a really different hearing, you can have a dog whistle that really they can hear and other people can't, so they could be very sensitive and it could really change their behavior. You can have different frequencies that could disrupt cells. I mean, we have things in lab where we use kind of waves or cavitation waves that we basically can blow holes in tissues and stuff like that. So very high frequencies, very different things like that you can actually use to destroy cells or destroy things, or at least like break things apart.
It's equalizing.
But why? Why this rabbit?
It's similar to an organ transplant.
Where the donor and recipient must be an exact match?
That's correct.
They're trying to match like donor matches with organ transplants, but at least from Spider-Man, it pulled off of one and jumped into another host. So with how it's portrayed there, it could easily seem to explode and be able to pass throughout a population. But again, this is very sci-fi. In biology, there would be a lot of other things. Your body would try and get rid of it. You would have a lot of things that would try and prevent this from even happening.
They should be able to survive here, but also we would be able to survive there.
We?
Begin human trials.
If we want to look at things that happen with humans, sometimes we get we get cells, we get little pieces, but we don't experiment on a full human without their consent. So there are things like clinical trials in which we need to have humans to see if things work, and if we have a new pharmaceutical agent, a new antibiotic, then we need to test them on people, but these all give consent. So anybody that is participating has signed something knowing what they're doing, and they are the ones that are allowing to have consent. Otherwise, what we can do is we can get cells from patients that we can work on in the lab, so we don't actually experiment on humans, but we can look at their intestinal cells or their kidney cells, and we can start to understand how these cells work, how they kind of build up to make a full body without actually having to do any experiments on an actual person or an actual being that has consciousness. So in biology, we have an idea of a symbiote, or like symbiosis, so really two organisms living together in harmony. And so we actually have this in our body. So if we think about what we talk about, the microbiota or the commensal flora, this is something that people hear a lot about, what's in your intestine, that you have a lot of these bacteria. And this is actually a very symbiotic relationship. So we need the bacteria. They help us actually make vitamins and digest our food. We give them an environment and nutrients so they can survive. So we all kind of live together, and we have this harmony with that. But in terms of sci-fi, it's very different, where it seems to be more of an alien creature and a human, and it's not necessarily always good or always bad. in parasites relationships, they can be symbiotic. So you can have ones where both of them are mutually gaining from the situation, that both of them are healthy. You can also have parasitic relationships that are bad. So if you have, like a tapeworm, the tapeworm's really happy, it's getting a lot of nutrients. However, it's taking all your nutrients, so you will be not benefiting from that. So again, if we think about biology and symbiosis, if we think about, two different species of fish that coexist, they can exist independently. The same usually with people, we can exist independent of our bacteria, although we need our bacteria more than they need us. And so usually we think of it in terms of animals that would live together, something like a parasite or things like this. It would be more on that kind of side. You really need a host. You can't really survive or go out without having a host species or something else to help allow it to survive, and giving the environment in which it allows to survive. So in this term, the symbiotes and kind of the Marvel universe seem to be more mutualistic and beneficial, where in real life you can find them in both sides. Some are good, some are bad. So I would give Spider-Man universe a realistic rating of 2. Thanks for watching Pop Culture Debunker. What should we react to next? Should I look at you? Should I look at the camera?
Okay. I am not here.
Okay.
Are potential extraterrestrial pathogens a real threat to humanity?
So, at this point, we don't know. We don't know if they could be something dangerous for us, something not.